Tom Elicson, running for mayor of Carolina Beach, and this is my fourth Facebook Live broadcast of the election season. I'll be doing these every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 9 a.m. so you can get up, have your coffee, join me for a short Facebook Live, and then get on with your day. And this morning we are broadcasting from Clarendon Avenue, and it is early in the morning, and so I hope my loud voice doesn't wake up the residents here. But the reason I'm broadcasting from here is I wanted to draw attention to the proposed Clarendon Avenue Multi-Use Bike Trail, and I also wanted to let everyone know what my opinion is on it and my position. And then I also wanted to go over the bicycle multi-use transportation plan. So this Clarendon Avenue multi-use bike path is part of this plan, and it's actually the number one priority on the list in this plan. And so that's why I think it's very important to talk about it, and that's what I'll be doing this morning. And so basically we're here in the middle of 6th Street. 6th Street is to our south and 7th is to our north. And the basic plan is to put from this road, from the edge of the road, there'll be, at least on the north side, when the path's on the north side, there'll be a 5-foot buffer, landscape buffer, and then beyond that a 10-foot multi-use, paved multi-use path. And that multi-use path will go about that crepe myrtle there. And then, although the plan is designed to protect most of the trees, some trees like that crepe myrtle will have to be removed, and the path again will extend into the yards, into the right-of-way, about the depth of where that tree is located. So that's the quick overview. And the more detailed overview is that the bike path, multi-use path, will extend from the school, which is at the south end of Clarendon Avenue. And when it starts at the school, it'll come up, well, I guess that's at the far east end of Clarendon Avenue. And it'll extend up the south side of Clarendon all the way up to 6th Street. And when it gets to 6th Street, it will cross over and go up the north side all the way to Dow Road. And as it extends on the south side of Clarendon, there will be actually a 10-foot buffer zone, or an 8-foot buffer zone, and then the 10-foot of paved pathway. And we'll cross over, and on the north side there'll be a 5-foot pathway. But so that's the basic plan. And so there's been a lot of talk about it. And as a matter of fact, get out of the way for these cars here. I was kind of surprised in this election that this issue came up again, because I did run for council in 2015, and this was a major issue in 2015. And so it's another 4 years later, another election year, and this number one priority project hasn't been completed, hasn't been started. They do have engineering designs for it, and we're still talking about it. So I think that kind of surprised me. But anyways, so I'm not sure what's going to go on with it this time around. If we'll move forward with it, or if we'll just keep talking about it. They do have detailed engineering plans, and they have applied for grant funding. There are some preliminary budget estimates put out, and this whole project with the preliminary estimate, it would be about $680,000 to put in the multi-use path on Clarendon. And the scope of it will be very similar to what we've seen on Cape Fear Boulevard, with the road, the landscape buffer zone, and then the 10-foot wide paved path. So that's kind of the plan. But as far as priority goes, the reason that this is the number one priority on the list is because the thought was that that this road connects from the park, from Mike Chapel Park, on the west side of Clarendon, all the way to the school on the on the east side. And the thought was that there are a lot of children using this road to get back and forth to the school. And so the thought is to make this the #1 priority, would significantly improve safety for pedestrians and especially for children commuting to school. And so I do know something about getting on a bike and taking a child to school. So when we first moved here, our child was in third grade, and we did ride our bikes to school, weather permitting, as often as possible. And then we came up from the south, more the south and not from the back of the island, and we would work our way up Spartanburg Avenue and come across 4th Street. And so I did on this past Friday, I just came out here just to see what the current situation was for students getting to school. And the school doors open at 7:30 in the morning, and the tardy bell rings at 8. So from our house at 7 a.m. I got on my bike and I rode up the Greenway Trail. I got off Mike Chapel Park and I rode my bike down Clarendon Avenue to the school, and I rode around and I observed the students commuting from about 7:15 to 8 a.m. And on Clarendon Avenue, on this road, I saw exactly zero students, children with their parents on bicycles getting to the school. This, as it turns out, is not a major route for students on foot or on bicycle going to the school. But what I did see, as you can see now, it's a fairly quiet residential neighborhood. But what I did see during the school hours, there's a parent drop-off in cars, and so this road gets quite busy with cars going down to drop students off. And after they drop students off, there's a lot of cars going back up the road to Dow Road. And it's just very convenient access to Dow Road for parents after they drop their children off to go to work. So that's what I see is mostly going on this road, is there's a lot of car traffic in the morning and in the afternoon when school starts and when it lets out, with parents picking their children up in the cars. But there's no pedestrian traffic to get to the school. And so that's what I see. And so I wonder, so that causes me to reassess the need for this road and for this $800,000 or $680,000 multi-use project to take place on this road. Why is this really the #1 priority when it's a quiet residential neighborhood? It's not really used by students on foot or bicycle to get to school. And it's divisive, right? We argued about this, and it splits the town somewhat. Back in 2015, when I was running for council, we talked about this, and it was a big argument. Some people were very emotionally for it, and some were very emotionally against it. And I see the same thing happening now. So my opinion is that we have this, in this multi-use transportation plan, there's a list of about 37 total projects that are prioritized, and so my opinion is that we should take another look at that plan and adjust the priorities. We could be working on projects where there's a lot of pedestrian traffic and a lot of automobile traffic, where these kinds of pathways, single-use and multi-use pathways, if they were put in, could actually improve safety and reduce risk. So I guess that's where I would like to see us focus our priorities. And when you look at this plan, you'll see that there's a lot of items on this list, and there's a lot of proposals for multi-use paths going through quiet residential neighborhoods. And these roads are already, we're walking on the road, but it's light to moderate traffic. It's fairly safe, for as safe as you can be for a pedestrian on a road, So that's kind of my plan. So what we're going to do is, and I guess I should just summarize, really I don't think, since this is a divisive project, it's not really used heavily by pedestrians, and there are other projects that will, if they're done, will actually improve safety and are supported by the residents. So, and this is a fairly expensive project, $680,000. So I just really don't see the need for the multi-use path on Clarendon Avenue. I don't see the money we're spending. I don't see the benefit. And again, there are other areas that we could get great benefit from if we worked on those instead. So I guess that's my take. It's why we keep banging our head against this project and arguing about it when we could be doing other projects, making progress, and we could be moving forward. So we're going to take a little car trip now. We're going to leave Clarendon Avenue. I think I've explained we're going to take a car trip. I'm going to talk about the multi-use transportation plan, and which was last updated in 2011, and my vision for that. And we're going to drive over to the new Spot restaurant, and we'll pick up the broadcast there. But I guess I'll drive and I'll talk while my wife keeps shooting the video of me. And that's what we'll do. All right, hop on in.
I apologize. I don't have any training.
All right. This is great. We can get out of the wind for a few minutes. So again, this Clarendon Avenue was put as the #1 priority on the list for the bicycle multi-use transportation plan that was developed in 2011. And so really, it's actually been, I talked about the past 4 years, but it's really been 8 years that this has been the #1 priority, and it hasn't been completed. So it's like, why do you go through the effort of getting an ad hoc citizens committee, hiring an engineering company, putting this list of 37 prioritized projects together, and then if you're not going to actually make progress on the #1 priority on the list? So I think what I would like to see done with this plan, is to have it updated. Last time when it was put together, we've gone through 4 mayors, and we're about to have a 5th mayor since that plan was updated. And there are many things on that plan. Some of the projects, like the Greenway, have been completed. We've gone through a lot of development in this town, and so some of the projects that seemed to make sense in 2011 will no longer make sense today. For instance, there are items in this plan such as the towards the north side, just north of the central business district, where we had plans at one point to build a pier and an aquarium and have some connectivity, pedestrian connectivity to that. Well, that project is no longer happening. So that's one example of development and changes in our priorities that have occurred that would require changes to this pedestrian or multi-use bike transportation plan. So there are a lot of changes that have happened in the town, and so I think the plan is in great need of an update. And if I'm the next mayor, I think that's something I will push for sooner rather than later, is to update the plan. And as we're updating the plan, currently in the plan there are 37 projects listed in priority. And one thing, I would like all those projects to be reviewed to see if they all still make sense, or maybe there's additional projects, additional areas of town based on current development where we need connectivity. So maybe some projects should be removed, maybe some should be added. But in any case, any project that's on the list, I think should be the priority should be adjusted. Let me see, which way? This way. All right. And the priority should be based on actual risk, in my opinion. So if you have a busy road, the main arteries, and here we are at the spot. If you have main arteries where car traffic is heavy and pedestrian traffic is heavy, those roads have the highest risk, and you can get the most benefit from most benefit from completing the projects for these roads. And so I think these roads should have the highest priority. These should be moved up in priority. So we are. Whoops! Oh, sorry.
You're gonna kill me.
I didn't know who
Why
was
you
curbing.
feel like you have to walk?
But anyways, well, before we talk about how the projects I believe should be reprioritized, I just want to give a shout out to the brand new Spot restaurant where we're standing in front of right now. And it was the old Saints Cove, but it's just reopened, and they're still kind of going through a soft opening phase. But I am having to help the local business out and to give people a chance to come out and talk to me. This Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. I will be having a meet and greet at the Spot. So if you can make it, come out on Monday from 6 to 8. You know, I'll be talking about all the issues that I have been talking about that I think are important. The multi-use transportation plan, the parking problems. I put out some proposals to help us be proactive addressing the parking problems. I've talked in the past about our finances. I do have specific plans for addressing finances. And I haven't released those yet, but I will be talking about those for the first time on Monday at the meet and greet here at the Spot restaurant. So I hope you can all make it out there. I think it'll be a great event, and I'm very excited and looking forward to it. All right, so let's get back to the multi-use transportation plan. Where we're standing now is on Lake Park Boulevard, and I can tell you for a fact, living down this way, that this gets a lot of foot traffic, and you can see that there is a lot of car traffic. Obviously, that's what we would expect. There's way more traffic here than we ever had than we saw on Clarendon Road. And there is a lot of pedestrian traffic on here as well. But yet this project does appear on the list. There is a plan for a pedestrian pathway, bicycle pathway to extend from Alabama up Lake Park Boulevard all the way to the lake. But it is number 20 on the list of priorities. And so when we have a list of 37 items and we're having trouble doing number 1 on the list, when I see an item that's prioritized as number 20, to me that means that it's never going to get done. But yet I think this one has a lot of risk for pedestrians because of the high automobile traffic and the high pedestrian use. And so, you know, I guess my engineering mind says that this should be in the top 3 priorities to get this one done. There's another one on Ocean Boulevard just to the south of us. Anyone who's familiar with Ocean Boulevard, you can see all summer long how many people walk up and down Ocean Boulevard. It's a narrow road with drainage ditches. They're trying to get to the major beach access. I see families with their children all the time, lugging all their equipment to the beach, and it's fairly high-speed traffic on that road. And that is also on the list to put in a multi-use path, but that is number 21 on the list. So that's another project that I believe should be in the top 3 just because of the number of pedestrians that use it and the number of cars that are on that road. It's a high-risk road for pedestrians, and by putting a trail or a path on that road, there could be a significant improvement and reduction in risk. And so I think that a road like that should also be in the top 3. But again, that's number 21. But there are other projects on this list, like we saw in Clarendon, that propose multi-use paths through fairly quiet residential neighborhoods. And so I question whether we need to do those projects at all. There are projects, for instance, on, if anyone is familiar, and I don't know, you probably can't read this map, from Alabama Avenue, which is the south end of town, these pink lines, or these red lines, represent proposed multi-use trails. So we're saying, what the plan is saying is that from Bonito all the way to Tennessee Avenue, and I go on that road a lot, I walk my dog back there, that is a very quiet residential neighborhood. Tennessee Avenue as another quiet residential neighborhood. Ocean Boulevard is one where we need to do something, but again, that's number 21 on the list, on the priority list. And so it's not likely to get done unless we increase the priority. We're run over by the pedestrians and so I believe that this plan needs to be updated. We need to review these projects. Do we really need to be putting multi-use trails through quiet residential neighborhoods? Or at least, if you want to keep them on the list, they should be in a lower priority. And these busy roads with a mix of pedestrians and high-speed traffic should be a higher priority. So that's what I would propose. Update the plan, adjust the priorities. And you know, when I walked down, I was canvassing on Ocean Boulevard. We brought that one up. The people there, it needs the multi-use path to improve safety. And when I talk to the people on that road, they agree. They actually want it. So I guess that's my point as well. Let's put in projects that aren't divisive. People agree that they need to go there, and by building these projects, they will truly improve safety. And so that's my take. And I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about the multi-use plan. I think it needs to be updated. I think we need to not put so many trails, multi-use plans in quiet residential neighborhoods that are already relatively safe. You know, the Clarendon projects, it's pretty far down the road right now with engineering planning and applying for grant funding. But there's been no final vote on that project yet. And as I spend time on that road, you know, just to recap, you know, I don't see, and I did not see, that it was used heavily for any students riding bikes or going on foot to get to the school. And it's a relatively quiet residential neighborhood, and it's a divisive project, and we keep banging our head against that, when we could be making progress on other projects that people support, that if they were done, they could actually reduce risk. There's one other project I would want to talk about. It is on the list. It's St. Joseph Avenue. And that is a residential neighborhood. It's a narrow, there's a lot of trees there, so it can be kind of dark and it's a little bit windy. I was talking to one young mother the other day. She lives off on one of the side roads. You know, she says it's dangerous. She likes to take her child for a walk in a stroller. And it's a very dangerous road for her to walk on. That's another project that's on this list, but at a lower priorities, and so it may never get done. And then that's a project, another one I think should be moved up the list. The residents want it. It'll actually improve safety to get that project implemented. And again, so let's just review. Let's go back and update the 2011 plan, update the priorities for the different projects, and let's start making progress. If we have a project that's number one, let's actually start working on it and get it done. Okay, so that's about it. And again, we're in front of the Spot Restaurant. I just want to remind everyone that I will be having a meet and greet here on Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. And they are still doing their soft opening, and they will be open. They have a full kitchen and a full bar, but for right now it is only cash only, so don't forget to bring your cash. And I can go over more details about my opinion on the multi-use plan, the bicycle multi-use transportation plan. I'll answer any of your questions you have. I can give you more information on my proposals for trying to be proactive addressing our parking issues. I can give you my ideas for how I think what changes we need to make in the town so we can more successfully do a much better job completing our large infrastructure projects. And I will, for the first time, I'll be giving you specific details about how changes I think we need to improve our finances, not only with budgeting, but keeping an eye on the spending after the budget is passed. And I've talked a lot about the finances. I haven't come out with specific proposals yet, but I have always had ideas on those, and I'll be announcing those for the first time Monday at the Facebook Live event at the Spot, so make sure you show up for that. And so I hope I was able to give you some information about what's going on in Clarendon Avenue. in my view of that and my opinion and what I think needs to be done. And my vision for the future would be, I do support this multi-use transportation plan, but I do believe it needs to be updated. I believe the priorities need to be changed, and then I believe we need to start making progress on the priority list and actually getting projects done. So that's all I have to say for now.
Clarify, it's not a Facebook Live, it's a meet and greet.
So did I say Facebook
Yes.
Live? So that, at the spot on Monday, it's a meet and greet from 6 to 8 p.m. So come here in person physically to meet me and talk to me, right? So meet and greet spot this Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. It's a great place, and Joe's a great owner. He knows his business. He's been in it for a long time. So come out and support him and talk to me, and I'm looking forward to it. That's all we have for today. We're going to get out of the wind. Thanks for joining in, and I will see you on Monday, and I'll see you around town, and I'll see you on Facebook Live next Saturday as well. And don't forget to like the Elicson. I think there are changes that need to be made in this town so we can improve the way things are done, but that won't happen without your help. I need your vote on November 5th, and so if you can vote for Tom Elicson for mayor, I would sincerely appreciate that. And so please get out and vote. Thank you very much, and we're signing off for now. All right, goodbye.